Hello. There we go. A little crooked. I hope you guys are there. There you are. Okay. Are you there? Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us, Jamie. Hi, Mary Mary. I love Mary Mary. Oh, we got a love Libras. Hi, Jennifer. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm super, super excited. We've got some really great questions. Yeah, I love the questions. I have been finding that there's been duplicate questions. So, like last week, what I talk about, I talked about, I don't know, the devil. Okay. So I had somebody send in a question about it, and it was like we had just talked about it. So if you do send in a question and it doesn't get shown within a week or two, just know that I'll bring it up later. I don't want them too close to each other. We'll space them out. You know what I mean? Thank you. Right back at you. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you. I try. I try. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We've got some really great questions. The first question that we have, which I just love this, okay? I'd like to know how we can know when our spiritual journey of growth and healing is almost to an end. I bet a lot of you are wondering the same thing, especially those of you, when you're going through a spiritual transformation that was brought on upon by the universe. It's like, a tower happened, you met your soulmate, everything goes upside down. Um, the way we know is when we go through the dark night of the soul. That's when we are at the deepest, darkest. um, yeah, I know you have a little while left to go. It's when we go through the deepest, darkest part of it. It's when we are feeling that force that pushes us back so that we are feeling like we're at rock bottom. We withdraw, we're angry, we don't want to talk to anybody. Throughout the journey, you're going to have highs and lows as you go through this spiritual transformation. You will have moments, and my guidance clients know this, I know, and there's several on here. So it's like you will know, you'll just automatically start crying, or you'll feel this sense of anger and rage for no reason, and then it'll go away. As you get through the journey, as you heal each individual item that needs to be healed, because some of us can have, we can have five. I focus on the deep ones, okay? And the universe and the angels, they work on the subconscious mind, working on the smaller ones, pushing those up to the surface. So those moments of highs and lows, those moments of anger, fear, uh, just crying for no reason, I tell you, go with the flow. Okay, however you're feeling at that time, go with it. If you feel like crying, cry, let it out, right? My guidance clients will tell you, let it out. Um, what you're doing is you are actually healing some of those smaller wounds that are being pushed up from the universe, okay? The angels are pushing that up to your conscious mind, but it's in the interim. As you heal a wound, you'll feel this sense of a little bit of excitement, a little bit of relief, a little bit of stress off your shoulders, a little bit lighter. And then as you continue to go through the journey, you're going to find on the other side, you are very happy for no reason, just like really happy, like really engaged. And many, if not most of you, will find that your inner child comes back. That's usually where the wounding happens, is when we're in childhood. I mean, it can happen obviously throughout all of our life, depending on how old we are, right? I mean, we could be going back 40 years, which is why it takes so long or it's difficult to predict how long it will take for somebody, depending on how much wounding, how long it's been. But as you go through the experience and you're coming out of the experience, that's when you're really going to feel this unbelievable sense of joy and inner happiness. And you'll look in the mirror and say, I like the way I look, right? And this is, that's right. Awesome. Feel it, heal it, learn from it, accept it, and let it go. That's it. That's right. And as you continue to move forward, you may have little setbacks. Okay, go with it. Again, it's those smaller wounds being pushed up, because even when I work with my guidance clients, if I'm on a 6 to 8 month basis with them, it can still take an additional 2 or 3 months, or depending on what they have, to complete the whole process. So when you know it's coming to an end is when you start feeling happier more often, lighter, more joyful, like letting things roll off. You see, through the journey, we actually see things from a different angle. So what we used to look at as something that was very difficult to handle, uh, worrying, things like this, we don't do that now. Okay, we won't do it as much. And you'll feel it. You will literally feel as you come out of this journey. You will feel it. And you will know. You will know when you're done. It's that blatantly obvious. But the crying won't be as much. It'll still be once in a while. Like I said, they'll creep in there. What come with age? The time frame? I don't know what you mean by does that come with age? Um, That's a really, really good question. That's from Mariana. Thank you so much for asking that question. So the next one is, why do some people have a psychic gift and others don't? That's not actually true. All of us have some sense of a gift, so to speak, from the metaphysical side, okay, from the spiritual aspect. Some can have a heightened sense of intuition. That in itself, we can look at it. Some view it as a gift. Some people view all of the abilities as not a gift. It's just a given. I do not. Okay, my guides tell me no, there's certain things for certain people. Each time we incarnate here on earth, it is for different reasons, for different purposes. And we learn the lessons. And as we learn these lessons, we get to come back down to earth and we get to actually put them into place. Trying to see the words a little bit better. Sorry about that. Everybody has something. It's just figuring out what you have and how to use what you have, not only to help and guide you, but to help other people as well, because that's what that's meant for, is to help other people. That's why I created the psychic development classes, so that we can actually get clarity on what it is we have and how we're supposed to use it. The next one, I hope that answered your question. Thank you, Jill. Um, I am a healer like you. I have had situations where my client is not improving. They don't seem to be doing the work. How would we handle this as a healer? And this is from Lynn. Lynn, that is a really, really wonderful question. You know, we are helping the divine. We are put here as healers to help others gain insight and clarity in the spiritual realm, gain insight and clarity through the transformation as to what the transformation is, what they're going through, what their life purpose, a multitude of different reasons, right? We can't help everybody. We cannot help everybody. And with me, if I have a client that is not doing the work, and I have done everything I can to assist my client, then I will have to let them go. Right, exactly. Exactly. So it's a matter of making sure that what you are showing your clients, what you're offering them, the process, the procedure, that it's all in place and it actually works. I'm sure you're getting guidance from above like I do. But if they're not doing the work, we aren't doing the work. I've already been through my transformation. I've done the work. It was hard. It was a lot of work. It was painful. It was awful. But on the other side, it's amazing. And I'm not here to have to keep reliving it through other people. I'm here to guide other people through it, to let them know what it's all about and show them when they're hitting a block wall. Now, if they continue to bump their head in the block wall and they aren't listening to me, there's absolutely nothing I can do. That's it. That's all I can do. That's when we give it up to God. We are helping the divine. We are not the divine. So there's a big difference. So make sure that you have everything in check, and you should be absolutely on track. So, how does someone protect themselves from evil spirits? Well, how would you know if your twin has not done that? How would you know that? Type it out. Type quick. How would you know? Okay, I don't even know what that means. Okay, you're not typing it out. You asked if you guys ask a question and I answer you and you're blatantly the only one there, go ahead and communicate, but type it out. Okay, so let me continue. How does someone protect themselves from evil spirits? So there's a number of different ways to do that. That's one of the items that I have on my list of classes and events. What I'm actually doing for you guys, instead of doing a class, which was scheduled for May 1st, May 1st, I am putting together a video and I'm going to put it up on Vimeo, and it's going to be like, $5. And then you guys can listen to it over and over and over again. That way you can really catch on and you can follow the instructions. But there's a number of different ways. You have stones, you have your saging, you have prayers, you have all kinds of different methods. So yeah, it's on my link under the events, classes and events, and I haven't uploaded the video yet, but it's coming. It'll be out next week. So just pre-register for that video, and I'll make sure that you get the link as soon as it is up and posted. But that way it's more affordable for people, because I really, really want to make sure that you guys are protecting yourselves, especially if you're going through a transformation. I mean, you need to protect yourself. You're opening the line of communication to the positive, but you are also opening the line of communication for the negative. Remember, everything we do in life, if there's a positive, there's a negative on every aspect of life. So that was a really, really good question. Yeah, so check that out. And then I have, how does one deal with the age difference in a twin flame relationship? There could be social pressures, class difference to break up. So what she's really asking is, how do you handle that difference, right? It depends on the social class and all of this. It's all about your belief system. You see, when we are really in alignment with ourselves, it doesn't matter how old the other person is. It doesn't matter if, I was dating a guy that was 14 years younger than I was. And it was actually a fabulous relationship. It was just at a time in my life when I didn't want commitment, but he was really like a guy that you would want to commit with. He was wonderful. But because you're twin flame, first of all, twin flames are complete opposites. Soulmates come together, they mirror each other, and they are right on track, right? So when we're looking at twin flames, which isn't really typically discovered until later on through the journey. That's when you see you're actually opposite, the yin and the yang, okay? And they fit like this. So what one lacks, the other one has, and they fit like this, and they create that formation of the full circle. That would be representing the soul. So you change your belief system. It doesn't matter what other people think. When we're in alignment with ourselves, you know, if somebody said I looked ugly right now, I don't care. I really don't care. It's all about what we believe, how we feel about the relationship. And when we are confident in what we believe in, when we're confident in ourselves and with our partner, it doesn't matter. It won't make a difference. You will just go out in society, you will handle it just like you would if there were 2 years of an age gap. So I hope that that actually makes sense. So the other question we have, oops, I lost it. How do I translate my dreams? Are they real and trying to convey a message, or is it fear, subconscious thoughts that which appear as dreams? Well, now science says a lot of things about the dreams, right? They do all kinds of, they've done studies on dreams and how you can dream of a snake and it actually means something positive. So if we're looking at it from the spiritual side, each of those dreams, as you're going through a spiritual transformation, you will have a download of information, and some of that information you will remember in a dream state, okay? And it could be bits and pieces, which is why I have my guidance clients, they list it out. And what we do is we analyze it, we go back. And through the dream analyzing, we can see where there is a wound that was not necessarily showing. So it's not necessarily the snake that would be of importance. It may be more the surroundings of the snake or the people around it or what it's doing or if it's holding a flag up or, you know, all these weird, crazy things that go on in dreams. And that is what leads us. And as they download this information and you see these weird things, it's a puzzle, just like the angel numbers are a puzzle. So when you see an angel number 44, you look it up, and after you get through the plethora of information on by Googling it, you will come to one of those websites where you actually say, okay, I think this is it. And then when you read it, you'll be able to decipher the code because they speak to us in code. That's what synchronicities are. That's what all of it is. It's a puzzle, and we have to fit this puzzle pieces together. Um, you can have downloaded into your dream the snake, and then a week later you can have balloons, and then a month later you can have a house. And as it all turns out, it can actually be that that was the house you grew up in, and the balloons was a celebration where you actually got a toy that was a snake. So it just depends on what your dreams are and how you review and analyze those dreams. What is the purpose of synchronicities? Well, that's the answers to your question, Mary. That's their way of communicating to you. So as you're driving along and you're thinking of Tommy, I'm sorry, I don't remember your soulmate's name, but you're thinking of Tommy or someone else, and you're saying, I wonder if blah blah blah, and then you see Tommy Court. Okay, the synchronicity is they're letting you know that they hear you. They're letting you know that they are listening to your prayers, that they are watching over that other person. Sometimes, like when I went to California, I think I may have mentioned this last week, but when I went to California, as I was driving, sitting on the plane, I saw my soulmate's last name on a magazine. Well, it's a really uncommon name. And I went, huh, but I was actually going back home. We both grew up out there. And that's the area that I was going to at the ocean is where that person grew up. Okay. So I saw his name, his last name, and I was like, oh, okay. As I was driving to the property that I wanted to see, I saw about 2 blocks before a place that had his name and my name was the name of the business. So what that was actually confirming, yes, you're on path. You're This is the area that you're supposed to be in, because as some of you know, I keep saying I'm being pulled to go back home, pulled to go back to the ocean, because that's where I thrive. That's my environment. That's where I do the best. Um, and it was confirming, yes, this is the place you're supposed to be. Now it's reminding me that the soulmate is what triggered me into the spiritual awakening, opening my eyes up to those synchronicities. I know it's really complicated, isn't it? They speak in code, and it is not easy to decipher the code. And you can go to a dream analysis person if it's the dreams, and they may come up with something very different than I do. Who comes up with the answer? I don't know. I know that I am able to with my clients, but and some of them are on here. Okay. Yeah, and you were probably thinking something, Mary, so I'm sure that that's what that was. She just said that she saw her soulmate's name on a business also, and most likely that, but this was really distinct. This was the last name that I saw, and the last name is super uncommon, and then it was their first name and my first name. That was the name of the business. So that's a complete synchronicity. It is also like if their name is Joe and you see Joe's garage, that could very well be. But if you know that Joe's garage is there and you drive by that area all the time, that's not necessarily a synchronicity. It's just like maybe you're planning to go that way and asking the question and hoping, because we do that as we go through the journey, right? Okay. All right. Yep, we can wake up at 2:22 for sure. I know a lot of you are waking up in the middle of the night. 11:11. That means you're going through a spiritual transformation that could be brought on by your romantic soulmate or not. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I hope that that definitely helps with some of these questions. Good. Okay. He said thank you. So I think I answered his question. One of the things that I did want to talk about is the soulmate journey. A lot of people have been sending me questions asking me basically repetitive questions. So I know it's a very confusing journey, and all of these numbers that you're showing on the screen are all part of it. What happens is, as we come down to earth, and I want you guys to really focus on this, okay? Because this is what you're going through. This is why you are going through this journey right now, because a lot of you are going through a spiritual transformation, or you are choosing to transform your life, but majority, it was thrown upon you. When you meet your soulmate, the connection is so deep because you do know each other on the other side. So it's like, oh, it's like, the woman next door that you know really well and you guys are best friends and you have that really great connection, that bond. That's what it's like. But you meet them and it's like instant like that. It's because you already know them. The love that you have for them is so profound because love on the other side is very different than love here. Love on earth can not always, some people are able to not do this. Love can be very superficial, okay? Meaning there's a lot of restrictions. Some people say, well, you don't have blonde hair, I don't want you, okay? You know what I mean? It's like people put expectations on love. on the other side. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what color your eyes are, what color your hair is. Love is pure and love is real. Okay, here again, we have boundaries and limits and expectations. When we meet our soulmate, it triggers our soul to go, oh, I think I'm going to wake up here and I see somebody that I actually recognize. But the conscious mind's going, why do I feel like I know you? Because the soul's connected to the subconscious mind, which is not connected to our conscious mind, what we knowingly think. Subconscious mind is what we think, kind of like the automated system where we blink, right? So as we begin to continue our journey with the soulmate, it just brings all this love back up. It activates the soul. All these things start coming up. And the whole purpose of the two soulmates meeting each other is for this runner to trigger the chaser for a wound that is super deep, super, super deep, way down deep inside. And it is for the chaser to trigger a wound or wounding in the runner. It has nothing to do with each other. It has to do with us way back when, throughout our lives, before we ever met the soulmate, of exhaustion's part of the journey, of what we need to heal. We got off path. We're not on our spiritual path. So the soulmate is put into our life to get us to do the healing, to reevaluate our belief systems and put us back in alignment so that we are 100% back on path. That's the true purpose of the journey. So everybody thinks that, oh, soulmates is all about, coming together and kissy kissy and the notebook, which, like my grandparents had the notebook story. They were literally like the notebook. I mean, they had the most amazing relationship. Thank you. And everybody in my family wanted that, and not one of us in the family had that. Not one. We've all been married, divorced, like many of us out there, right? Now, divorce, if you've been married once, that's like you're the outcast because so many people have been married and divorced. But this is the whole purpose of the journey, is for that soulmate to trigger us. It has nothing to do with them. It's the wounding and the anger and the frustration and the pain, not related to them. But our conscious mind has not connected it yet. So we are angry at the soulmate. You see, as we come on the other side of the journey, we're not angry with the soulmate anymore. We understand what we did with each other and why that took place. Okay, so once you're on the other side, there will be no more anger. I'm not saying that you will allow them back in the door and go, oh God, I love you, I love you. No, no, because the human side of them, the external person, the damage that they did, they need to be held accountable and responsible for the actions or lack thereof, for the injuries that they caused in that state. So it's part of the journey, becoming accountable for what we do, what we say, what we think. Good. I'm glad you understand that. It's a very intense journey, and the hardest part about the soulmate journey, what I will tell you, I refer to it, as some of you have heard, an invisible karmic cloak that's put over us. You see, God puts this cloak over us so we can see the outline, and that's why I use the Seven of Cups. It's perfect because you can see the outline of the cup, but you cannot, if I hold it here, you cannot see the detail until I get to here. Then you can see what's in each cup, right? Cups are about emotions. Cups are about feelings. That's about all the stuff that needs to be healed. And as you do the healing, that's when you start seeing the detail. Little bit at a time. Each wound that heals, the universe will pull it back a little bit more and a little bit more. That's part of the journey, Jess. Oh, I didn't see that one. Surrender. I will try to answer some of your questions through the comments if I can, as long as they're not too personal. I will not tap into your energy because I already get tired tapping into everybody's energy because it is exhausting because I literally have to disconnect from this plane and go in between. So it's exhausting. Yes, it'll keep happening. What happens, Sam, I don't know your name, Sam, SJ. What happens, they had asked, will it continue to happen if you don't get the lesson the first time? Yes. And we had talked about that, I believe it was last week, where we will get another tower. For example, if you hypothetically are are the chaser, okay? Chasers tend to heal a little bit faster. They're a little bit more progressive and open-minded. They start doing the research. They start trying to figure out what the hell is going on with me? Am I going crazy? Do I need to go, go see a psych? You see what I'm saying? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You're the chaser. You go through these periods where you're seeing all these things. Exactly. Positive, negative, mood swings like crazy. So we start doing research, and that's how all of you found me on YouTube. You went in, you started looking, you started finding this, and it links to this and this. And the universe will point you to the readers you're meant to see and the healers you are meant to work with. They will lead you to the right person. So you guys might not want to question that too much. If you feel drawn to somebody, just know there's a reason for that. They can help you. Even though you can't see it, they can help you. Yeah, well, that's not a tower. I didn't see your name. They just said that they felt like they were going through a tower moment. A tower is when things like flip upside down. For example, um, you can have a soulmate um, that you just met, the two of you just met, right? Your soulmate just went through a divorce where they got wiped out. I mean, their partner took everything, everything that they worked their entire life for. They've been married 20 years, took it all. So they're completely wiped out, right? That's a tower. That's what I'm talking about. What you experienced, and I forgot your name, but what you experienced thinking that it was a tower that came in, that is actually the healing. Remember, the universe and the angels are healing underneath those small wounds and pushing them up to the conscious mind. So you're not aware of it. That's a subconscious mind. You don't know what's going on down there. It's like the bottom of the pot. It's just sitting there getting heated up. And then as it starts to boil, it pushes it up to the top. So that's what's going on as it comes through towards the top. You're going to be, that's the moments of anger, that's the moments of tears, that's the moments of frustration, of uncertainty, unclarity, looking in the mirror going, I am so unattractive, and we really do. We look at each other. Some of my guidance clients, the first thing I ask is, who do you see when you look in the mirror? Because that's a really good indication for me to know if they have issues with their parents. So every question I ask my clients is for a specific reason, and they guide me to do that. Okay, nice. Yeah, so the journey is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable journey. And for those of you that are still in it, I promise you, do the work. Look for what needs to be healed. Look for what needs to be addressed and removed, because that's what's going to push you over onto the other side. When you're on the other side, you will see life from a very different angle. It doesn't mean you aren't going to have negative people. Evil will still exist. Tower moments will happen. It's the way we view them. It's the way we approach them. So when this tower happens, somebody steals your car, before you freak out, oh my God, they took my car. Now I'm carless. I can't drive. I don't know where to go. Now we'll look at it and go, son of a gun. And then you'll go rent a car. Okay, you will actually be able to put things in order. You'll know exactly what to do, how to handle it. You'll be calm, you will give it up to God, and you know without a doubt that everything is going to take place. You see, as you go through the journey, through this soulmate journey, when I talk to you all about going back, reviewing your past, I'm talking every person, every situation, and circumstance that takes place in your past, because they actually all lead to putting you back on your path. You will realize that everybody we meet is for a reason, that every situation happens for a reason. Yes, every situation happens for a reason. The tower moment. So she had just asked, if you go through like a negative, and I'm going to change the wording a little bit. If you go through a negative experience, does that mean there's a positive experience on the other side? Absolutely. If you get the lesson. If you don't get the lesson, you'll relive it and relive it and repeat it and repeat it, and that's a repetitive cycle, and that's a wound. So that wound links back very, very deep. But see, those wounds link back so deep that our conscious mind is not aware of it. We don't know. We don't know what happened at the age of 1, or we don't know what happened before the age of 8, because we completely blocked everything out. So it's really all about, you're very welcome. It's all about us reviewing all of it. So I do hope this gives you a little bit better idea. And then what I'll do, we can talk about the soulmate journey every few weeks or so. Okay, I don't want to talk about it every week. Because you guys can go back and you can look at other ones. So make sure you go back to other psychic connections and review what we talked about, because some of those questions you're asking as I'm glancing at them, which they pop up kind of fast, right? Some of those questions actually have already been answered. So go back, listen to it again. Remember, you do have a state of confusion kind of surrounding you. It is very difficult to see that detail. So you have to repeat. I'm very repetitive for a reason. And they tell me, as you guys know, when I give those messages, it is coming from above. And you've clearly seen that it is applicable for most of the people. Okay. But go back and re-listen to these videos. Yeah, I'd like that. Thumbs up, right, Mary? So what I'm going to do for you guys, though, is I am going to change the time. So I'm going to move it back 30 minutes. So instead of at 3:30, it will start at 4 o'clock. That way there are more people that can join in with us. It'll be a little bit harder for me to read your messages. And if you have questions that are metaphysics, spiritual, psychic, anything to do with spirituality, you can send them to my email at ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. I almost gave you my website. Everything all kind of sounds the same, right? And I will address them that way. That way I get to these specific questions. It's super hard because they kind of flash really quick, right? So I can't see everything that you guys are writing, or if it's like more than one sentence, I can't read the whole thing. Send those questions. These are not personal questions. If you send me an email with personal questions about your personal life, I will refer you back to my website to book a reading. This is for general questions like we just talked about on the show today. I really hope you guys gain some sense of clarity in some of this, and click the subscribe button. You will know whenever I am posting anything to do with this particular series of the Psychic Connection, because my job is to help you understand the spiritual side of life. To Ascending Souls Journey at gmail.com. You'll see it. I will post it after it's done uploading this video, because it has to finish uploading after I'm done and I turn it off. I will fill in all the blanks. You'll see that it'll be blank if you open it up right now, but I'll put it in there. So my email will be in there. Just remember, and I do post little messages. And you guys check out my website, look at those classes. If there's anything on there you're interested in, send me an email. Maybe that time frame doesn't work this go around, but I'll put you on the top of the list for the next session that's coming up. You are so welcome. I look forward to your reading. You'll get it soon, and much love to all of you. Have a good day.